Hey everyone, it's Trader Rob. Today is Sunday, November 30th, last day of November. Hope everyone had a great Thanksgiving. Kind of a strange trading week. I traded Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Took obviously Thursday and Friday off. But overall for November, the signals, the live streams, I've just been really pleased with the direction one of the channel. I really appreciate all of the support from all of you that are watching the videos and watching my live streams each morning. I did post the stats for the signal service for November. November was just an absolute fantastic month. 88% win rate. I think we had a total of 25 trades, 22 of those trades for winners. And if you look here, I've got pretty much the results, not pretty much, I've got the results of every single signal that hit. And again, the majority of the signals are TP1 and TP2. So again, just trading one E-mini, I was up 100 and let's just call it 130 points on the NQ, and I was up 44 points on the ES. That's what you would have made on the signal service with one E-mini, obviously depending on what you're targeting and things like that. And then as far as October we had a 75% win rate, and September had a 78% win rate. August was a 70% win rate. July, which was I think our worst month, that was the tariff month, and took a little bit of time to adjust to the price action there. If you guys remember that, that was a lot of headline news. Any tweet that came out that had anything to do with tariffs, I mean, we were having 1,500 point ranges on the NQ every day, but that was a 58% win rate. And then for June was a 100% win rate, and May was a 75% win rate. April had an 85% win rate. March had a 71% win rate. And then February, which is the first month that I started the signal service, had a 100% win rate. So super pleased on the signals. And with that, let's update our new weekly bands. Let's see how the bands and the tradable levels reacted from last Sunday's video. And let's give you guys some new tradable levels that you'll have to map out for this coming week right after the intro. As always, nothing that I state on my channel is financial advice. Trading futures or any type of trading is risky business. Any capital that is put out there is at risk for loss. All right, so let's start off with the NQ. Let's take price action back to the 23rd, which was last Sunday, which was right here. You know, perfect example of, and go ahead and rewind the video from last Sunday. I stated just be careful with the gap at the opening bell on Sunday. Excuse me, sorry about that. And what you could look for is on the way back into the signal to take a trade actually to the long side. Again, stop this video. Make sure you watch the whole thing, but stop this video, watch Sunday's video. I explained it in pretty much very detail, and that's exactly what you got. Look at the reaction point that this 24,390 signal gave you. These are the powers of these tradable signals, people. We then finally got up to the 24,728. I am on a higher time frame here, but we ended up having a really nice reaction there. Actually, right here, I'm sorry, it was right here that the reaction happened. And that would have been good for 143 points off that tap right there, off the 24,728. We come right back and retest this 24,728 level. You can see that none of the candle bodies were able to make it underneath it, and straight slingshot to the top. Again, we finally revisited this weekly band that we've had here for a while at the 25,311 to the 25,225. Very nice reaction to the band. And that right there had a rejection of probably about 83 points. Super nice. And then finally, we made it into this band after a lot of tugging. Finally made it right into this band. You can see that Proud Price Action tried jumping into it and got rejected very strongly. Probably good for another 100 points right here on the first tap of that new band. So with that, let's make some adjustments to our weekly bands here. I think I can start with this guy. And this one is going to be now from the 25,222 to the 25,140. And again, that's the 25,222 to the 25,140. Okay, so that's our new weekly band right here. Now, this weekly band already did get tapped into. I'm going to keep it up there, but just remember that this big band of unbalanced volume, a lot of resistance here, a lot of volume that wants to push. This has already been tapped into, okay? So this is now a much weaker band at this point. You can almost delete it, in my opinion, but I'm just going to leave it up here just so I can see on Wednesday what happens. And then this band right here, I can make an adjustment to as well, which is going to be from the 24,841 to the 24,772. Again, the 24,841 to the 24,772. Okay, so this band now got adjusted to the upside. And my final adjustments on this lower band, which is at the 24,563, down to the 24,490. Again, this is the 24,563 to the 24,490. All right, that's the adjustment. So these are your 3 new weekly bands that you've got here. Again, if you're watching this video and you might say, Rob, you're going a little too quick, if you go to my website, which is robstrades.com, you put your name and your email in, and every Sunday after this video comes out, I will send you off an email with all of my tradable bands and all of my tradable levels for the coming week. And that comes out every single Sunday. As far as some new tradable levels, so let's delete what we don't need anymore. So this one worked out very well, very well. I believe that's it. We got one to the top side here at the 25,850. And then let's make some adjustments here to some new tradable levels. First level is going to be at the 25,233. 25,233. Okay, so sitting right above this weekly band right here. Next tradable level will be at the 25,107. 25,107. Okay, sitting below this band right here. And the next tradable level will sit at the 24,963. 24,963. Again, sitting below where price action currently is at. And our last and final tradable level at the 24,745. 24,745. All right. So these are your new tradable levels to the downside: 25,233, 25,107, 24,963, and 24,745. And then above, we've got this tradable level still sitting there at the 25,850. Let's jump over to the ES. Let's see how the ES did. Let's go back to the 23rd, which is Sunday. Right here. This is where price action started. So you could see we finally made a tap into this tradable level at the 66.78. We did get a pretty strong reaction to the downside. A little bit more drawdown than I would have probably preferred to see, maybe about 5 points there. And to the downside, though, that your reward would have been, let's see, 31 points. Not too shabby on the NQ, onto the ES, I'm sorry. We finally break into our next level, 67.12. Where did it hit the wall? 67.12. This was good for, I believe, about 10 points. about 12.5 points. Nice tradable level there at the 67.12 that I gave you guys. Oh, shoot, made a movement there. Wasn't trying to do that. And then finally, we came up to the 68.37 tradable level. Not the greatest reaction here, to be honest with you. This was probably about 7 points that it moved to the upside on me. You probably would have an initial reaction right off of this candle that first touched into it, which would have been good for maybe about 4 or 5 points, which, to be honest, on the tradable levels, that's what I'm typically targeting. Not charging. And that was probably good for about 6 points. So on that initial touch right there, you can see it had a very hard time getting through the 68.37. And then finally, Black Friday, we're able to push right through it. So let's make some adjustments here. I am going to be, let's start off with this guy. So this one's going to be at the 68.0. Nope, I'm sorry. I only need to make one adjustment here. And that's going to be this middle band from the 67.20 to the 66.88. 67.20 to the 66.88. Okay. And I am going to be deleting this band. That's all right. So you've got a new weekly band here at the 67.20 down to the 66.88. Below price actions currently at, and did not have a weekly band above us. And let me clean up our tradable levels here. So this one did a fantastic job. Great job. Great job. Now let's add our new ones in. So we've got our first tradable level on the ES, which is going to sit at the 68.07. Again, that's the 68.07. Below where price action is currently at. Next tradable level will be at the 67.63. 67.63. Okay. Our next tradable level will be at the 67.10. 67.10. And our final tradable level will be at the 66.45. 66.45. Okay. So here are all of your new tradable levels on the ES. You got the 68.07, 67.63, 67.10, phenomenal level right in my weekly band, and the 66.45. And don't forget, we've got a few signals down here that are also in play on the ES. Again, if you get my report every Sunday, it's got them all. It's got all the weekly bands and all of the tradable levels. Hopefully, it's making you guys easier mapping out your week. If you haven't joined the live stream, I highly encourage you to join the stream. I am pretty much every morning at the market open. Tomorrow I do have an early start at 7:45 a.m. Central Time, so about 45 minutes before the market opens, but pretty much every day it's from the market open, and we go for about 2 to 2.5 hours every day. Hope to see you guys on there too. Happy trading, everyone. Take care.